Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the sudden expansion of heat and matter to kickstart a universe. Goblets and Gays have returned to the world of Alien using Free League Press's incredible Alien RPG with our second season of Mother May I. My name is Farris, I use she, her pronouns, and I am honored to be back as your game mother. This is episode 5. Please don't delete this. So now let's reacquaint ourselves with the stalwart crew of the Hera for as long as they're with us.
Hello, I'm Dusty. I use they, he pronouns, and this time I'm going to be playing our lovely Martin Estrada, who has clearly done nothing wrong. They are just trying to help everyone stay alive. I'm pretty sure they let nothing but our friends on this ship. And they use he, him pronouns.
Hello, I am Mimi, also known as Michelle Jones. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'm going to be playing Daniel Strauss, who's also done nothing wrong. Daniel uses he, him pronouns.
Hello, I am Navar, and I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Tank Mechi, who for sure did nothing wrong, and he also uses he, him pronouns.
Please don't delete this message. I know I'm supposed to go through your lawyer, but there's no time. I need you to know that the company is lying to us. They're lying about everything. Please be careful and do not trust them. If I make it back, if I survive, I will tell you everything. And if I don't, then I guess that means that the condo is yours. So congratulations.
Hera Crew, if you don't mind terribly, please take 1 damage each. Daniel, you rouse yourself, unsure if the collision or the G-force knocked you unconscious. You're not dead, somehow, yet. Part of the cockpit is burning, not urgently. The urgent fires are somewhere else. These are the flames that linger after the brunt of the blaze has been consumed. The stench of burning electronics and plastic and meat mixes in an acrid array. The smoke is enough to coat your throat, smooth at first and then ragged, noxious. The coughing is an afterthought. The ship's front windshield is shattered. The already damaged dashboard, a mess of spitting sparks and jagged edges that somehow hang above you now. Ears ringing, head pounding, you stagger to your feet, realizing that the floor is what used to be the ceiling. You climb laboriously out of the windshield, onto the crushed nose of the Hera, to be met by a confusing mess of sensory input. Cold air whipping down from overhead, snow flurrying past your face, bringing with it fresh air. Heavy sounds of machinery, easy rumbles against the uneven clunk of a machine deterred. Heat, groans, hissing. The air is cold enough to hurt your face, your lungs. It tastes like ashes and metal, not metal, blood? Maybe that's just the atmosphere. What a way to test if this one is viable. Breathing it in deeper and deeper. Stinging, burning pain settled in deeper, sharper with each rapid heartbeat. Something is very wrong with you, Daniel. Something is wrong. What do you do?
I turn around. I look at the wreckage of the Hera. I look for any signs of that creature that attacked me, that pounced on me, that would have killed me if we hadn't fallen out of orbit. And do I see anything?
I think there's enough going on in the terms of having just crash landed into something, into Is that a building? Are those ceilings? Are those beams above you? But it's snow. That I'm gonna have you make an observation check with a -1. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, okay. I
Roll.
guess I panicked. That's fair.
But you're holding it together. There is a lot to panic about. You're bleeding from somewhere. You think it's your blood. It could be something else's blood. It's probably your blood, though. Everything kind of hurts. Everything should hurt. You just crash landed. But also you're bleeding. Is that a problem? It's probably a problem. You don't see the creature. At least it's not in the ship and not immediately outside the ship. It doesn't seem to be coming for you. You are starting to get the shape of where you landed, though. It looks like some sort of warehouse, a factory, maybe. There are all these beams and wires. There's a light sparking and spitting in the corner. Other ones seem to have gone out, probably because you crashed the ceiling of whatever this place is. And you see this long row of clear plexiglass boxes, quite large, and some sort of track that runs along the ceiling of it. And you're finally starting to figure out what that thumping noise is. The Hera has crashed not into the track, but just with the nose underneath it. And there is a torso on a meat hook slapping against the side of the Hera's nose.
Well, in that case, Daniel's gonna turn and run. I'm gonna try to find anywhere I can just duck down and hide.
Okay. You want to scramble off the nose of the Hera and try to hide somewhere?
Yeah, we're in a building, so there's gotta be like a door leading away. I just want to find I'm just going away from here to somewhere I can like duck down and be out of sight.
But you are still keeping it together. I think this is key as you slide off the Hera, stumble a little bit because, again, you were just in a wreck. It should have killed you. It's a miracle it didn't kill you. You're definitely injured some way that you just don't have time right now to assess. And as you land, you realize that the Hera had broken through one of these plexiglass walls, and the little room within the larger space had contained some sort of well, it looks like a lot like an egg. And as far as you can tell, it looks like that torso was supposed to run along the ceiling track right over the egg and then pass through all of these little rooms. You're not super sure. But as you slide down and land next to the egg, you watch the egg open like a flower, some horrifying flower, and all of a sudden this creature that rather strongly resembles an upside-down horseshoe crab without the shell leaps out of it and like comes skittering towards you, and you're very close to it. Your stress level increases by 1, and you make an immediate panic roll.
I have a nervous twitch. My stress level increases by 1. I don't think there's any friendly NPCs near me. Or PCs.
Not yet. Great. What do you do as this thing comes skittering towards you?
Run. I just scramble to my feet and run.
Perfect. You start to run, and we'll come back to you. Hank, none of this should have happened. Maybe if you could have gotten to the controls sooner, you could have prevented the comet fall of the ship. Maybe if you had turned around the moment things seemed wrong, you could have been ready for whatever caused this. Maybe if you had never gone over at all, this wouldn't be happening. You are made of if-then statements. In another person, that might have riddled you with inert, with anxieties and fear, but for you, it's always made you prepared and decisive. Decisiveness that left Caroline to make her own way across the umbilical. Where is she now? It doesn't matter. Decisiveness that drove you through a tumbling, screaming ship, resisting G-force and debris in a nearly impossible trek to behold for just one moment the destroyed instrument panel, the creature, Daniel. You find yourself now loosely pinned beneath twisted paneling in an inverted, shattered cockpit. Daniel is gone. The creature is gone. The windshield broken. Fire is burning someone, somewhere, easily, which is a problem, to be sure, but it is not your immediate problem. Knowing the creature is gone is maybe not the same kind of relief as knowing it is dead. There is cold air, probably too cold to be exposed to for longer than a few hours, blowing through with smoke. You hear machinery clunking along steadily, but closer to you, there's something thumping, like a machine deterred. And somewhere in the dim lighting beyond the ship, you hear hissing, gas, a burst pipe. Either way, something to get clear of, and fast. Alerts are screeching absently in and out of your head, finally worth paying attention to. You're not at full capacity. Time is so very short. What do you do?
I think first, Tank is just going to clear himself of the debris.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough.
And then I would like to see if I can go to the computer in the cockpit and determine the status of the ship. Is it like will the computer even come on? Can I see, like, can I get a gauge of what aspects of the ship are working, not working, what's on fire, anything like that I can pull, if possible?
You know what? Given the state of it, I'm gonna need a contact roll from you.
Okay.
With the -1, because again, the state of it. Nothing's coming up. The computer is empty. It's blank. You can't even get Mother to come online. But judging by the cockpit, I mean, this thing is not space worthy by any means. You would die immediately in a vacuum.
Yeah. I know that because I was running to the cockpit when the ship was going down, and I knew that Dan went to the cockpit, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Is the door out of the cockpit, like back into the ship, is that damaged or closed?
It's open.
It's open?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I want to just take a second to see if I hear anybody around me, to like see who I could go try to find to help. Because I don't think Tank knows that Dan went out the window. So
why would you?
Yeah. So yeah, if I can find out, if I can hear, then I think yeah. But yeah. So what?
Give me an observation roll.
I guess yeah. What do I hear, and then I can decide if one of those.
You hear that hissing noise outside of the thing. There's a lot of noise coming from outside of the ship. You're not entirely sure where you've landed, but it certainly is somewhere with a lot of machinery that's all making a lot of noise. Thumping, thudding, tapping, covering up so many sounds. You hear what might be people outside, but if this is a place with machinery, that probably means workers, or it could be Daniel went out the broken window onto the nose of the Hera, which as possible. You do also hear sounds from deeper in the ship of your crewmates. One of the noises distinctly sounds like pain.
Yeah, Tank's going to go to the windshield and peek out. I guess can I use the stunt of is it coming for me?
No, nothing's coming for you. Something's certainly coming for somebody booking it towards a clear door. Let's be honest, it's probably not glass.
Are they moving? Is that moving away from me or towards me?
Away from you, yeah.
Okay.
So as you come out onto the nose of the ship and peek through the broken window, you can see a little more clearly that you're in some sort of warehouse factory type situation that has all of these large clear boxes. And there is, you can't see what it is, what it came from, because the Hera's nose is kind of obscuring the egg. Yeah. But you do see a figure running. It might be Daniel. It vaguely looks like Daniel. And there is something scuttling across the ground after him that looks nothing at all like anything you've seen yet.
Okay, so I think, I'm going to try and sneak out, and I will pull out one of my guns and shoot the thing that's chasing the person.
They pierce through the little scuttling thing, and it just kind of and keels over and flips like a spider. Just you feel like you killed it. There's also a burst of green liquid that comes out of it, and the ground kind of seems to sizzle around there.
After I shoot it, just kind of loudly whisper, Dan, is that you?
So I feel like I hear the gunshot and look over my shoulder to see the thing that was chasing me explode into green goo. And I'm also just loud whispering, "Oh my God, Tank. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you."
Tank, important question.
Yes.
You took damage in the fall.
Yes, I did take 1 damage.
Mm-hmm. What was the damage?
If my face got smashed against the ground, and so you can see clearly a cut in my skin, that the skin just sort of flaps, but there's no red blood. And I don't think Dan knew, or anybody knew.
No.
But yeah, Tank doesn't realize that it's there and just walks up to you. Oh, good. What are you doing, Dan?
The thing there, I was in the ship, and then I wanted to see where, so I got out of the ship, and there's a body on a hook, and there was an egg, and a monster came out of the egg, and it was chasing me, and you shot it, and we need to go. We need the beacon, there's a distress beacon. If we turn on the beacon, and we gotta go.
Dan, did you try to activate the computer before you got off the ship?
No, I looked around, and then there was a body, and then there was the monster, and...
Okay, there are still people on the ship, and I need you to figure out if we can get our computer active again, so we can figure out if we can fix our ship, or locate where we are, get any information. It doesn't seem smart to just go running around in this unknown space out here. I think we climb back up, we go look for everybody else. And I will stay with you by the computer until we can figure out if you can access it. I had no luck. So let's do that, and then we go find out if anybody else is alive.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. That sounds like a good idea, because you have guns. Tank, how come you're not bleeding?
And I think Tank cocks his head to the side and then feels his cheek and sort of presses it in as if to glue it down like an adhesive. I think that's obvious. Yeah. Let's get back on the ship.
Okay.
Daniel, rules as written say when you discover someone near you is an android, you're supposed to make a panic attack or roll. I will leave it up to Dan as a person, whether or not this is something that is startling enough in this situation and in this context to require one.
Honestly, I feel like at this moment in time, Tank being an android is more reassuring than it is stressful. So yeah, if you help me back into the cockpit, I can make a comtech roll.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, just help you climb back up and lift you up into the cockpit.
That's 2 successes.
Yeah. Okay. You are. What specifically are you looking for with the computer?
What I want to do is get like the distress beacon, the black box, whatever, like to like transmit our location so that someone can rescue us.
Sure.
So I think I do that first, and then I ask Tank. So what am I looking for here?
See if you can access the other systems of the ship. There's a fire going off there. We need to see if we can get the engine going again, figure out if we can seal this hole. Anything that's going to protect us, locking doors, closing gaps, things like that.
Well, in that case, my son will be, I don't need to roll to overcome the exact same challenge in the future. Because it seems like we are trying to do a few things here. So I think the first thing I'll do is like turn on the fire suppression system. I assume there's some kind of like foam spray that like puts out fires.
You get the signal off. You think you get the signal off. You feel pretty confident that the signal goes off with the black box, and it should send out a notice to the company or anybody to come pick you up, rescue you from wherever you are. You try to set off the fire suppression systems, and all you get is a long line of text of all of the ship systems. Life support, offline. Power, 20%. Engines, offline. Other ship things, offline. Everything is offline. And as you are sitting there watching it, it keeps refreshing the power, and that keeps degenerating by a percentage every time it refreshes.
Everything is, all the systems are dead. I don't think the ship is flying out of here. We're gonna have to find something else.
Farris, does the ship have the capacity to look for other ships around us on the ground?
No.
Okay.
That also like communication scanners are offline. The last bit of power was basically used to send up the signal. You're hoping that the signal will last long enough to be caught. But at the moment, continuing to use the ship will drain what's left of the power without another source of power. And then the signal will probably die with it.
Okay. Yeah, just shut it off, Daniel. We don't want to waste that power.
Right.
Let's go. If engines are off, I think we should go look for. There are other crew members, and I know I heard somebody else crying out in pain.
I turn the signal back off so it doesn't drain the last of the power. And I'll follow Tank back into the upside down ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to move stealthily, both guns out, for the record.
One of you give me a mobility roll for both of you. The one who's not rolling can give one to the person who is rolling.
2 successes. The stunts are give one to another PC in the same situation as you, gain a +1 modification to a later skill roll relating to this, or I impress someone. I don't care about impressing Daniel, and to a later skill roll relating to this one, relating to stealth.
Creep your way through the ship. It is in turmoil and chaos. Things have fallen. where they weren't latched down. There are parts that just broke off. There are places where the ship looks like it's starting to break in half a little bit, and you have to like carefully step over, and you can see wires and like there's some wiring and the cables that are like the only thing holding the two halves together for now. And once those snap, probably it's gonna do a little Titanic action. Not as severe because you're not in water, but you get it. But you make your way further back to the ship, and there is Martin on one side of the door, a closed door, and you hear noise on the other side of the door. Martin, how are you looking? You also did a little free fall tumble through space in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Honestly, came out great considering.
Yeah, I only lost half my health, half of my 2 health. So last session, for some reason I was really focused on Caroline. Where exactly did Martin end up?
Martin's on the ship and started to go in deeper. I believe Martin Martin did not get the message, but Martin would have heard the message, which was Bugsley giving you all a warning that got cut off suddenly. And I believe Martin went to go find Bugsley and figure out what the heck was going on prior to anything else. And if that's not true, it is now.
Are they like in the hallway where there's a closed door in front of them, closed door behind them?
Yeah, it looks like you're trying to get into the little mid bay.
I think being turned upside down, they having like shakily getting up and like hear movement from one door and sees the other two, and they're just like, Tank. Oh, and Dan. Well, never been more happy to see you. I need to get this open. There's something over there, I think. Maybe there's sounds. Not good sounds. Not as bad as the plane. Not as bad as the ship crashing sounds. Maybe. Could you help?
Tank, can I look around and make sure there's nothing else? I mean, clearly, obviously, Martin's alive, but so many things have happened. I just want to make sure before I open this door that it's not gonna...
The sounds you hear on the other side of the door sound human.
Okay.
They sound a lot like the human in pain you heard earlier.
Okay. Yeah, so then, I'll just, I don't know, press the button or whatever opens the door. If it just opens
right now.
Oh, that's right. Okay, then I would just like to manhandle it open.
Actually, you know what? I won't even make you roll for it. It's just going to take you a little bit of time to force this door open, which is probably fine that it takes time.
I guess, yeah, if it starts to take a little bit of time, I'm gonna hand one of my handguns to Daniel and just be like, just watch the hallways, make sure nothing comes up on us. Put the other one in the holster and just like, yeah, two hands on it, foot on the jam, and just absolutely pulling as much as I can.
Martin, who was somehow miraculously able to get like their satchel bag on their way here, is like, okay, last time we couldn't see the thing, right? And so they're gonna go through the bag and pull out a motion tracker.
So, go ahead and make me I have too many things open. The power roll first, which is just going to be whatever the power level is on that sucker. You're going to roll that many dice. If you get any ones, reduce the power by however many ones you get.
There's 1 1.
1 1. Okay, so reduce your power by 1. And you are getting a motion reading on the other side of the door, while You're also getting motion from Tank trying to open the door. You're also getting a lot of motion from outside the ship, like a lot of motion. Like every direction, there are multiple dots beeping.
Hey, there's a lot of shit going on outside, y'all.
Yeah, there is a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, there's
When you specify by shit, what do you mean, Martin?
the motion tracker is one to there's a lot of dots moving around on the radius of this ship.
Do I have the door open yet?
Almost.
Or enough where we could get through?
You have it open enough that you realize you're being helped from the other side. Looks like Bugsley's on the other side, also trying to muscle it open.
Oh, hey, Bugsley. Yes. I think, yeah, we're just, if that's the case, I think we just get it open enough to squeeze into where they were and close it again.
I think,
Right.
like, as you're starting to come in, Bugsley's like, nope, it's on fire. Nope, it is on fire. Move.
Bugsley, did you not hear Martin? There are many, many things out there coming for the ship. And we fought one thing and Caroline is no longer here.
Do you want to die from things or do you want to burn to death?
And I think Tank has the slightest smile and quirks his head.
I don't want to die. In general,
Either way, this is not good. Where is Benson?
Back here.
And Benson, did we still have to get Benson's door open?
Benson's with her.
Okay, okay.
It looks like, from what you can tell, like as you both are like prying the door open, which like once you start opening it, you get more leverage, but it doesn't actually make it any easier to keep pushing it open.
Yeah.
You can see Benson is probably the one who's been making the pain noises. It looks like his shoulder has been pretty jacked up.
Okay. So every direction has, like, in a circle, basically, there's motion around us of these things coming.
Something's coming.
Something's coming. How close are we to the armory? Do we have an armory? Is there a place where does anybody have extra weapons that we could go steal from?
I have a pistol.
Well, I have two.
Yeah.
But
Is there like an emergency vehicle on the ship?
It would make sense. It would make sense for you to have a small vehicle. The question of if you can get it out of the ship is a different matter entirely, as the power's not really working and the hatch has to open in order to get the ship out. Or, try to drive it through the hallways and off the nose is also through the windshield off the nose.
We're also upside down, so
also true.
Is there? I mean, do the things that the motion tracker is detecting, are they getting closer?
No, it seems like some of them are, most of them aren't.
Just milling about.
You are also starting to hear voices now from outside. Like people voices.
Speaking a human language?
Speaking a human language.
Okay.
You hear a lot of swearing. You hear a lot of voices at first that at first you can't really hear them, and then you hear like shouting, and then you hear sounds that sound like impact. That just sounds like impact. And then the voices hush again. Not like they've been silent, but like they're like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
That creature monster thing, that didn't talk, right?
No, definitely not. Based on its mouth's anatomy, I don't know that it could talk. These are people.
Little mouth could talk. That was scary.
This is a secret planet, right? A secret ship that doesn't show up on detection, but there's people here.
I think we're in some kind of factory.
Ooh.
There was. I told you there was like a body. It was on like a conveyor belt. I don't know.
What?
Yeah. So,
It's like a meat plant. It's like a
human processing plant?
maybe. I don't know.
That doesn't seem like a good reason to get out of the ship.
I'm not voting we get out of the ship.
What's the most logical what's the most logical way for us to get out of the ship without being detected?
The front, the nose, the broken nose, because you don't have to rely on any doors. As you're like mulling it over and trying to figure out what to do here, the door is open enough now that Bugsley can get all the way through. Kind of points at Martin, points at Benson, like, you go help him. And then turns to you, Dan, and just pushes you against the wall, and says, "Why were you sent on this? What do you know about that thing that ruined my ship?"
I don't know anything. Nobody told me anything about this. I am a human relations liaison. I was here to...
You're a Wayland. You think I didn't know that? Why were you sent here? Why you?
Yes, my great uncle was a Wayland, but all I know is they told me here to foster good relations between the union and the company, and they told me that was why I was here. They didn't tell me anything else.
Unbelievable. Even if you're not lying, which frankly I'm starting to think maybe you're just not bright enough to do it, why would they send one of their little scions on a mission that is probably doomed from the start? Really trying to get rid of you? Do they know what we were here for? You know who the heck the Hollow One is?
The truth is, I'm kind of a fuck up, and they don't like me that much, and I didn't think they hated me enough to send me after weird monsters, but maybe they do.
That station was company property, so they know about something. And then she just shoves you again and says, "I think they want you dead, boyo. All right, we gotta figure out what to do here. I don't think it's viable to stay here. Bloody thing's on fire. If it's surrounded, great. Staying put's not great. If there's literally any opening, which I think I see my floor. Why is my floor up there? My floor is broken open. Bloody hell. Yeah. We gotta move."
Bugsy, I think it might be in our best interest to try to get ourselves in an advantageous position against whomever is trying to sneak onto the ship and putting humans on meat hooks. So what
if you tank? I don't think we have anything like an advantageous position here.
Well, what I'm thinking is maybe we sneak up to where they are, grab one of them, hold them at gunpoint, and make them talk. Use them as a bargaining chip to make sure we get through to another ship safely.
From the other side of the room, you want to interrogate the people that could help us?
People that could help us don't suddenly go quiet when they think we can hear them.
I don't know if they could. Benson, you're fucked up.
There's also a question of whatever the heck that creature was.
Yes.
I assume,
and whatever
given that
was
you're
in the
all
station,
alive, that it is not on the ship anymore.
We didn't see it. That's the
Also,
only thing we know for sure. But there was something else. There was a different creature outside of the ship that attacked Daniel, and I stopped it.
Why?
I think chuckles lightly, and because I needed Daniel to access the computer.
Fair enough. We are short. Where's Dan's bodyguard?
As far as I know, she didn't make it. Decided to go back into the umbilical cord as the ship rended apart from the station.
Well, we lived through this. We'll drink for her. Dink, you seem confident in this plan. I think it's up to you then to get our new friend, whomever they may be, as long as we don't die to whatever the other thing is. Eyes up, stay alert, everyone.
Yeah. I want you to follow me about halfway through the hallway. Once I get outside, actually stay towards near the cockpit. Once I get outside, if anything goes wrong, I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to start shooting. At that point, come out and help. Daniel, you hold on to that gun for now. I'll just use the one. And I will give Daniel one of my reloads as well.
Okay. So you all make your way back to the cockpit. Benson he's fine. They're again, their shoulders a little messed up, but all in all, okay. Bugsley also injured, but again, dealing with it. You're all injured.
Yeah.
You crash landed. It's gonna
be fine. Yeah. It won't be fine for most of you if you get hit one more time.
I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, you make your way to the cockpit. I'm going to need a group mobility roll. So one person rolls. You can have up to 3 dice as help from other people.
Okay.
Mr. Robot, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also get the +1 from my earlier stunt.
Yeah.
So then that's +4. Yeah. So I succeed, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm just going to try to sneak out and see if there's anybody that's by themselves outside of the ship that I can just quickly nab and hold at gunpoint.
Yeah. You peek out, and you see there's some people in like the distance who are like frantically trying to like draw almost shades, it looks like, trying to pull like metal shades down over the glass boxes. And every so often you hear like the sound of impact again, and you think you see in the distance, you have pretty good eyesight as an android, that somebody seems to have a bolt gun and they're shooting at little moving targets, probably more of those skittering things. But there is one person who's like getting closer to the ship and inspecting it, and you see them pass under the nose. So you could probably drop down behind them and catch them pretty easy.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah, so yeah, just like basically like kind of just jumps, catches himself with one hand, lands lightly on his toes, and just runs up quickly and grabs this person, like not choking them, but like around the arm around their neck, and then it's just gonna hold the gun there and just say, "Do not scream. Who are you? Where are we? What's going on?"
The person you grabbed has like a blonde mullet with shaved sides, and is just wearing heavy overalls with like no shirt underneath, and these heavy work boots and gloves, and grabs your arm with like one hand, and you see there's like this acid scarring running down the arm, and though she grabs your arm, there's like no tension in her body as soon as she hears your voice. And then he goes, "You're human. Thank God. You better let go. We got bigger fish to fry."
Tank's not going to disillusion her. He's just going to say, "Who are you? Where are we? What is going on?"
We're in a bloody crisis is where we are. You came off the ship?
Yes.
Okay. Answers that question. It doesn't matter anything about who you are. What matters is that right now we are surrounded by the worst possible things you can imagine. And we need to not be here. So kindly let go before I tase you. And you realize that one hand was on your arm and the other hand was holding a taser, again, not touching you, but up to your side.
Would a taser work on me? This is a genuine question.
I think so. Maybe
okay.
not as effectively, but I'm pretty sure you have electronic parts.
Sure. You may tase me, but if I pull this trigger, you're gonna die.
Okay,
Are we
then...
safe?
No.
With you if I bring the rest of the crew off the ship?
Yeah, probably better with me than on your own. At least I know what you're up against.
Is there another ship off of this planet?
Isn't that the question?
How long have you been here?
Years. 2, 3, 2. 1.5. Doesn't matter.
So what's your plan?
What do you mean, what's the plan?
Well, if you've been here for almost 2 years, why haven't you tried to leave?
I work here.
What is this planet called?
This is not the place. Oh, this is not the place for the conversation, okay? We are surrounded by things that want to murder you in the most unpleasant way possible. Let go so we cannot get murdered.
When I let you go, where do we head to for safety?
There's a place in the middle of the facilities. The hallways, they kind of converge in an area. There's some rooms in there for supplies and crap.
Point to it? He's just gonna tell her to point to it.
And she points like vaguely, and it's kind of like dark in that corner, so you have no idea.
Great.
Listen, I get you're suspicious as all get out, but when I tell you, the greater danger is not me. I cannot hurt you in any way close to how those things can hurt you. Have you ever seen a chest implode? Like a human chest? Because you're about to.
Is your chest going to explode?
No, not as long as we get out of here. And if you see anything scuttling, shoot it. As quietly as possible. They're drawn to sound, okay? And
Tank is going to let her go and basically like let her go and sort of gently shove her away from him. And he's still going to have his gun on her, and he's going to just whistle, not like whistle loud, but like enough to be like, hey, everybody else, let's exit the ship.
And he kind of stumbles away from you and like pivots, not to face you, but so that like you're in the peripheral, but most of his focus is elsewhere. She is fixated on, like, you're not a threat to her right now. You are, but like not compared to whatever else she's worried about.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm just gonna like, regardless of how he's acting, I'm just gonna keep my gun on her, and then I will wait for the rest of the crew to come out.
I think you see Martin's like head pop over the edge, like directly above you. Just, are we okay?
We need to get to a safer position. He says he can show us where, but there's these things that attacked Daniel are still out here. So everybody, let's move quietly and quickly.
Martin like starts getting up. I was like, This sounds worse, but I have no choice.
I think as Martin, Tink's gonna help Martin down and just whisper to you, these people seem to be more worried about these creatures, but these are still people who put humans up on meat hooks, so don't let your guard down. And is going to like help you down, get you out, and then just continue that sort of same message to everybody that comes down of just like, keep your guard up. It's the lesser evil, but yeah.
Yeah, I think after like 2 people come down, whoever's already on the ground just kind of hears the factory worker just be like, "God, you're slow. Come on."
Dan will whisper to everybody, "Stay away from the eggs. The eggs are bad. Stay away from the eggs."
This gets you like a hard point from the factory worker who's like, "Yes, correct. Everything's bad. Gotta move. Especially here. We call it Death Alley for a reason, okay? This is where you die. Let's get out of here."
Oh, Death Alley sounds pleasant.
Yeah, wrong with people.
I'm moving. Martin has taken Shakely out. They have a service pistol as well. That was in their bag, and they're like holding it, but like not well. They're not really trained with this. They have it probably because Tank told them to carry one on the previous mission.
Yeah, Tank's gonna just like kind of take up the rear and make sure everybody is safe and make sure we don't get followed or caught by surprise by something.
I'm gonna need another mobility check for you all here because you are in one, you're making a lot of noise getting down just because there's a bunch of you and you're in a falling apart ship. 2, there are a lot of things here that want to kill you as soon as they know that you're about. So I'm gonna need that other mobility check. It's a group check again, so only one person makes it. You can add up to 3 additional dice from other people giving you help, which I imagine there's plenty of people here to give you help.
Oh, thank goodness. One success.
But yeah, so you are making your way, you're creeping through, you are hearing a lot of noises where you can't see. Some of it is people, some of it is not. There are a lot of people that are starting to like run towards you down the hallway. Seems like there's a couple others joining you. And every time you run into another like factory worker, the one you're with like looks at them and is like, "What about," and like says like, "Tony, what about Tony? How about Sarah?" And they're like, no, didn't make it. And like as you all are keeping going, the factory worker that you kind of accosted at one point goes, "Has anyone gotten grease on the radio? Anyone at all?" And the other factory workers you come across are like, "Nothing. It's a dead zone. Maybe they already put it on lockdown." And she's like, "No, if it was on lockdown, we wouldn't have power and the lights would be off. Not to mention the doors. Be grateful it's not locked down yet. We gotta move before she does." And she leads you into there's like a bunch of hallways, and they all kind of converge in a little area, and there's a series of like small rooms, and there's probably the crew of the Hera and like 6 others that all cluster in this room. It's cramped. This is like a large supply closet, like an industrial size supply closet, but not meant to hold like 12-ish people. I don't remember how many people are on the Hera right now. It's 5, right? It's 5 because it was
3 of us. Yeah.
3 times 2 minus 1. That's 5. So 11 people. And once you're all in there, there's a phone on the wall, like an old landline looking thing. And the person who escorted you kidnapped. Honestly, it's kind of both right now. Goes over to the phone and pulls it down. There's no like numbers on it, so assumably it only connects to one area. And you hear her say, "Grease, can you hear me? Grease, a ship crashed into Death Alley." And you kind of hear the garbled voice on the other side be like, "Repeat? I didn't get that." Who is this? What section are you in? A ship, like from the freaking station, it crashed. You're coming out. Who is it? Is it Billy? Grace! The facility is compromised. They're loose. We need a way out. And then the line goes dead, and Billy hangs it up in frustration. You don't know her name yet. Now you do. And Jess goes, God! And then turns around and says, all right. Cool. We have problems. Obviously, we have problems. We have such big problems. What the hell is all of your problem? Crashing a ship down here? What happened? Who are you people?
We thought it'd be good for the ambiance.
Hilarious.
Obviously, we didn't crash on purpose. One of those monsters ripped our ship in half.
Are you in communication with the satellite station?
Well, not anymore. I don't know, maybe upstairs can, but we can't even get upstairs on the phone longer than 2 seconds.
We stopped at that station, and there are a couple of things up there that possessed real danger to our ship and, in fact, ripped it apart. And we dropped from orbit, and this is where we landed.
House in its mouth.
So, you're telling me one of the Xenos got loose? They only have like one up there at a time,
Xeno?
right?
Is that what you call them?
Yeah, they're like, I don't know. There's like some full term.
Did you say that?
121. I don't know. Xenomorphs, what they're called colloquially.
Did you say they have one at a time up there?
Yeah.
So you did that on
Wait.
purpose?
Yeah, all of this is on purpose.
What?
What is all of this?
Wayland Yutani's infinite wisdom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a nightmare, is what it is. It's just where we are. It's HFO is what we call the planet. But we manufacture xenomorphs for sale.
For sale?
Yeah,
You're
to
selling these things?
we're not. The company is. Trust me.
That
is,
can't. That's crazy, because that would mean that you want more of those things.
Again, no, but someone making the big bucks sure does. We've been shipping them out for a year and 8 months. I think we've been actually sending out shipments.
So you're telling me those things are like all over the galaxy?
Yeah, mostly private armies and stuff. Couple. Listen, I don't look too closely at the shipping labels, but I'm pretty sure they used it for some accidents with some of the unionized gigs.
How has this not gotten out?
Well, the NDAs suck, first off. Also, we're not allowed to leave. Yeah, most of us don't have a choice, so you try getting a gig out here when you've done time for a few years.
Oh, that's evil.
I mean, if these things are attacking people, somebody would have shown up on a security footage or something.
You severely underestimate the company's ability to sweep things under the rug, huh? This whole planet got swept under the rug for I don't even know how long they've been here.
It wasn't in our logs, right, Tank?
No. In fact, we named it something better than whatever the designation you just gave me was.
Hell froze over?
Yeah. What was the name of the captain?
A Mechanos?
A Mechanos, yeah.
Yeah.
We named it. Yeah. Anyway, we've been calling it a Mechanos, so that's what we designated it when we chartered it.
Sounds Greek.
Sure.
what?
Why do you have torsos on meat hooks? And I think like Tank, as he's saying this, like has his hand, like his gun has never been put away. So, but he doesn't have it up, but he's like clearly has his hand, and is watching diligently as this person answers this question.
Yeah, and you see like the other factory workers all note that. None of them have like guns, but they do all have a number of like tools that can be used to kill, you know? Makeshift weaponry. And, you know, they all tense a little bit, but the one who seems to be like maybe not running things, but at least someone people look to, is still pretty relaxed, all things, at least with you all, and says, yeah, those are the torsos. I mean, you want a whole rundown of the facility? I can't exactly give you a tour right now because the whole place is in shambles. But we have eggs. We build the torsos out. They're like largely synthetic, so like they're not real people. They're flesh and blood. They've never been people. Pop them full of whatever DNA strand they wanted them that week from the weird scientists up on the station, and then we pump them with the little, we call them, they're called the face huggers. Anyway, it's a cute nickname, right? They pop out of the eggs, they do what they do with the torso, we package the torso, ship that out, and by the time it arrives, you got a full-fledged little nightmare. Only it's a giant nightmare, and it's gonna eat your face. So are the little ones, for that matter. So,
how many torsos are "quote unquote" packaged right now out there?
I think we have 30 in packaging and 75 in shipping.
Oh, we have to go. We have to get off this planet. We have to go.
Martin is like hands on knees, just like.
Since you're processing bad things, we have the coop, right? Full of eggs. What makes eggs?
There's like a mom. There's like a mom monster.
Yeah, we got the mother. We call her the hen.
What is it with you and nicknames?
What else are we gonna do out here? We have been stranded on a godforsaken ice planet with nightmare creatures.
Can we just stop this? This sounds. I need to.
What is your name?
Billy. How about you? Touchy.
Tank. Billy.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Billy, how do we get out of this room? We can't stay here.
Oh, really? Oh, really? We can't stay here? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Billy, how do we get out of the room?
Alright. Our best bet. And at this point, he like turns away from you all entirely and starts addressing like the other factory people. And is like, Aegis, please tell me you have good news about the backup ship, please, because I know the shipping ship is doomed. But maybe the backup ship. Any luck on that front? And you see this like short, little like 5'2" dude, kind of like step forward and is like, it is not space worthy at all, but it could probably withstand atmosphere for a while. I don't know where it would go though. Maybe the construction site. They get ships a lot more. And Jason was down here earlier giving the tour to like some new folks. So if new guys were here, then that must mean the new folks have a ship, right? So best thought is the backup and go to the construction site, or figure out what the new folks came in on and steal that. But like, whatever, unless they came in on a cruiser, we're not all gonna fit. Bill, we're not gonna fit. And Billy gives like a slow nod and says, well, there's only 6 of us in this room, so let's not give it up for the rest of them yet, but let's not count places.
Billy, I think you just miscounted. There's not 6 of us in this room. There are 11 of us in this room, and we are not going to let you leave us here.
Then pitch in. There's a lot more people in this facility than you all. And they've been here a lot longer and like to get off a lot more, trust me.
Well, then I will repeat my question, Billy. How do we get out of this room safely? How do we get to a docking bay, or how do we get to the reserve ship?
Is there a map?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a map in a console somewhere, but all right. It depends on how much of it's damaged and how much of it's overrun. You all broke Death Alley, which is bad. However, honestly, the best place you could probably crash, because all that we got there are the little skitters. If you had broken shipping or packaging, we'd be really screwed because those suckers are a little bit bigger. So my thought is, as long as there's nothing big on the loose, we can just slip through meatpacking and take the long way around to shipping. Go through shipping so carefully out to the second hangar and see the state of the ship. The alternative is to try to make our way upstairs. But I don't know if we can get upstairs before the lockdown goes in effect. Because once that's down, everything shuts down, all the doors, everything. It's going to be a lot harder to get around. Not impossible, but a lot harder. And if Grease is any sort of facility manager, she's going to lock it down.
Hi, Daniel. Daniel Strauss. What's upstairs?
Everything else, living quarters, cafeteria, pinball.
Would they have a better ship upstairs?
Well, the delivery ship was scheduled to arrive, so it should have come in, and Jason was given some new folks a tour, so that means it must have also brought down some people. Delivery ship isn't very big, but if it landed and is here, then probably we could get some people out of there. Aegis made a good point, though. There is a construction site. They're building a second facility. I don't know how many clicks that way. And they get a lot more ships and a lot bigger ships because it's construction. We only get the delivery ship like once every month. And it always brings a problem, but you know.
So if he could just go upstairs and get somewhere faster, that's probably better, right?
Yes, yes. We just have to go past, the hen house to get upstairs.
Bury the lead.
Looking around, like a take is like,
normally
go around. Yeah,
I wouldn't be concerned about that. But I don't know how much damage has been done to other parts of the facility. So I'm a little worried.
How is the hen contained?
Own room, very securely, lots of stuff. Honestly, I don't know. I don't deal with that, thank God. And if the lockdown is enacted, which again, probably any minute now, as long as Greece understood what I said, then extra secure. That's the first thing that gets locked down, for obvious reasons.
Is there a console in this room?
No, it's just the phone.
Where's the closest console?
Medbay probably. I don't think meatpacking has one, but it's just to like access the DNA samples, so that's probably not helpful. Unless you need some DNA.
Well, I look. We could maybe try getting the lockdown set up sooner if it's not happening. Is Medbay closer to anything else? Is lockdown good, right?
It's yes and no. It's good in that it should contain a lot of our deadly problems. It's bad because it's gonna trap us in here with them.
So we want to get out before lockdown.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
I see.
We need the fastest. Whatever's fastest, we just need to go which way is fastest.
Okay. Stick together. Keep your guns ready. And keep so many eyes on the ceiling, okay?
Could Martin during this after they hear Henhouse rummage through their bag and pull out a med kit, could I use that really quick?
Totally.
Just you see Martin just wrapping a bandage around both of their arms, even the arm that doesn't have anything on it, just I really wanted to see alien life one day, not like this.
You already have.
Yeah, if Martin's gonna take the time to use a med kit, I will also use my med kit.
Okay.
Tank's gonna ask Daniel. Daniel, do you want to hold on to that gun still, or would you rather just run?
Honestly, I think you would do better with it.
Okay. So then, yeah, I'll just take the gun and the ammo back. If that's the case, then. Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, I'll give it back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So you all are making your way to
downtown.
the exit, correct?
Yeah. I will let Billy or whoever else wants to go first. Open that door.
Billy will lead because Billy knows where he's going. And I think the other factory workers are gonna stick close to Billy, so you'll have to either take up the back position or jostle them out of place to get closer to Billy.
I think Tank will stay behind again.
Okay. Then it is time for another mobility check. However, this one is going to be at a -2 because it is A, dark, and B, there is rubble and stuff in various spots, like places where the ceiling's kind of crumbling in, the wall's kind of crumbling in a little bit. And also because you're trying to look out for skittering friends. Nice.
You hate me so much, but I still succeeded.
I don't hate you because this is only better for me. But yeah, so you all make your way, creeping very slowly, and you come around a hallway and you see it looks like part of the ceiling has kind of caved in a little bit of the hall, and the fact that it's caved in seems to both relieve Billy and concern Billy. Not really sure what that means. You can guess why. But she turns away from there and leads you forward. And as you're passing a row of doors on either side, in front of you, you see a big security door that clearly needs some sort of key card to get through. And you're getting very close to it when all of a sudden the lights go out. A red light turns on. You see a flashing red light above the door. And Billy goes, well, that's lockdown. And that's where we're going to end this.
Shit.
Shit.
Thank you for joining us here in the nightmare machinations of the company. We are all just replaceable cogs in the wheels of capitalism. I have been your game mother, and we have been Goblets and Gays adjacent with the incredible Michelle Jones and Navarre joining myself and Dusty. You can find us at Goblets and Gays all across the internet, including Twitch. Navarre and Michelle, where can we find you?
Go ahead, Mimi.
I have been Mimi, also known as Michelle Jones. I am Alesha Kills pretty much anywhere I can be found on the internet. That is ALESHAKILLS. You can Google me.
And you can find me at NAVAARSNP on wherever I'm awning. And also pay attention to Secret Nerd Podcast, where I've been spending my entire December editing an incredible AP that is a actual play of The Corrupted, a game that I made that is all about surviving in the apocalypse. It's very sweet, and it's very scary, and it's very sad, but also fun. And I'm excited to share it with people. So yeah, that's it for me.
Well, keep an eye on the vents. You never know what's lurking in them. Say goodbye, Hera Crew.
Bye.
Goodbye.